Welcome back. You're watching the breaking news show on CNN News 18. We're returning to our top story, our focus on the conflict taking place in the Middle East. Let's take a quick look with the Australian Prime Minister now making his most extensive comments since this crisis started. Anthony Albanese has made a statement to the Parliament in which, as you can see on the screens, he said that Hamas has hurt both Palestinians and those who live in Israel. He's also said in statements that are being seen as aligning with other Western voices, he has also said that he urges Israel to follow the rules of war. This is a speech that he made in Parliament today itself. We'll bring you more context on these statements in just a second, but these are his most extensive statements so far. He did affirm in his statements Israel's right to defend itself, but he joined international calls for Israel to abide by the rules of war and protect civilian lives. This is remember, the most recent update we have coming in from Israel is that the military is continuing to prepare for a ground invasion of Gaza. Palestinians struggling to find food, water and safety are attempting to flee to the Strip's south. Remember, Australia has seen multiple protests taking place last week at Sydney Opera House, for example. We're going to bring you more right now in terms of reactions. First, take a look at what the Australian leadership, the Prime Minister, had to say. Take a look.
The evil committed by Hamas in Israel has chilled every Australian heart. We have all been profoundly shocked by the scale and wantonness of these attacks. We must face what has happened and what is now unfolding with complete moral clarity. Hamas terrorists committed mass murder on a horrific scale. Jewish families here and across the world are mourning the greatest loss of Jewish life in a single day since the Holocaust. This was no act of war against the army of an enemy. It was the slaughter of innocent people. It was an act of terror, calculated, pitiless brutality, compounded by a rain of rockets designed to kill and to terrify without mercy and without discrimination. This was not just an attack on Israel. This was an attack on Jewish people. Let us be clear. Hamas is an enemy, but not just of Israel. Hamas is an enemy of all peace-loving Palestinian people who are left to pay a devastating price for this terrorism. Hamas honours no faith. It serves no cause but terror. It is no better than any other group in history that has clung to the twisted belief that victory can be built on the blood of the innocent. Just as Hamas stands in the way of the peaceful future for Israelis and Palestinians alike, they try to drive division in every peace-loving democratic society, and they seek to fan the embers of anti-Semitism. We cannot allow that. We will not allow that. I know I speak for every member of this House when I say that this kind of hateful prejudice has no place in Australia. Anyone seeking to exploit a people's suffering for political purposes should consider the damage they risk doing. Anyone tempted by the lazy but corrosive option of false equivalence should shun that temptation. This is a time for compassion, not cynicism. We have no room for anti-Semitism in this nation, just as we have no room for Islamophobia. We have no room for hatred, not against Jews, not against Muslims. Our nation has been made better by generations of both.